Hi, my name is Daniel, aka dfebs, and I'm here to talk about Digital Shadows, a puzzle game that utilizes image manipulation to uncover hidden codes and secrets. This was created by the Async Aggregators, and this was made as part of the Python Code Jam. So the five major technologies that we use for this project are double exposure, image to Ascii, reverse Ishihara, color swap, and motion editing. So each of these five have an important role to play in each of the puzzles that we have. Within this video, I'll explain some more about the technologies and how they contribute to the project. And in addition, of course, I will be explaining how to install the project and run it as well. There are some things that are a bit spoilery, I would say, since it is kind of an experience that you're running through. But of course, if someone is more trying to be analytical, then it may be better to take a look at the video and see how it works before jumping in.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do to be able to run the project is clone the repository. So here, I'm going to copy this HTTPS here, or you can use SSH if you feel like being fancy, and we're just going to do a git clone. So from there, what we can do is do a poetry install. Actually, let me slow down a little bit here. From there, we actually want to change directory inside and then do a poetry install to get the dependencies. So once the dependencies install, what we're going to want to do is actually activate the virtual environment that comes out from there. So in this case, we're going to do a poetry shell. So that should activate the virtual environment, and now we should be able to run the project. So we're going to run the project by doing python main.py. The first time you run the project, it may take a little while, but in subsequent runs, it'll be a lot faster. Alright, and that should be it for running the project. Now, I do want to add one extra tip that's good for this, and that's you can run python main.py and then actually choose a level. So, for example, if we wanted to choose a level inside of the program, we can say 4, for example, and what it'll do is it'll actually go to that specific level, and then you're able to run that particular one. So level 1 is Ishihara, and this is based on the Ishihara test and subsequently the reverse Ishihara test. And essentially it is a mosaic of pieces that when put together in a certain way and are given certain colors, it makes it hard or impossible for people that are colorblind to see. There's also the reverse version where it's actually impossible for non-colorblind people to see. So essentially this is a huge inspiration for this one, and as you can see we have an image of a dog and it's overlaid with mosaic pieces, and you'll see as I mess around here with the numbers, you'll notice that the image will change, and as a hint to the puzzle, you're gonna have to play around with this a bit. There's a few things you might have to look at and see, but essentially yeah, that's what it is a mosaic, and it looks really neat. Okay, so the technology we use for this level we call double exposure, and essentially what we're doing is the image.blend function in Pillow, and the way it works is we apply an alpha value, and depending on how high it is, that is how much the blend will occur. So as we go higher in this, you can see that this snake turns into a little pile of boxes. So between that and the clue we have there, that is something that'll help you solve this puzzle. So for level 3, we utilize color swap, and it's essentially as simple as it sounds. We take every instance of a certain color pixel and we replace it with an instance of a different color, and then of course vice versa. So there is a bit of a description here, and it should kind of give you an idea of what to look for a little bit. And in addition, you can utilize the swap tool to maybe make things a little bit easier to figure out the puzzle. Okay, so the next technology we use is hidden in Ascii, and this is for level 4. Essentially what you do is you just click unlock digital glyphs, and what will happen is the image will turn into a series of Ascii characters, and I won't get into detail too much. Well, let's just say you'll have to look a bit closely to find the answer here. As an additional tip that might help you, you can use the scroll wheel to zoom in on the image, and then you can also left click and hold and drag, and you're able to move the image around as well. Alright, so this is the last level. We call it motion, and essentially what you're able to do with this is take an image and apply distortions to it. Now each of these distortions are very carefully crafted. I'm not going to go into detail why, because that does give away some things for the puzzle, but what I will say is that if you play around with these enough, you may find that there's some patterns in here and that you might lead to a solution.
Alright, so that's about it for Digital Shadows. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and just want to extend my appreciation out to the team for being awesome and cooperative throughout the whole process. And any other links that need to be added, I'll add to the description, whether that's websites, social media, as well as the repository and things. So that's about it. See ya. The Async Aggregators consisted of 6 team members, including myself. The first being Avongard, who worked on back-end functionality with a large focus on the complex motion editing functions. Chronos focused on specializing in wiring up the UI in the back end. And then coming next is dfebs, which is myself. I focus more on testing, bug fixing, and just general team facilitation. Next up is Flo, who focused on front end and back end. And Leo, who focused on back end functionality and puzzle design. And finally, last but not least, we have Amor, aka Sardines, who focused on UI design and creation.